Hey guys, it's been a while. It's been a long time making. I just dropped Motion, my first short documentary on YouTube, and I wanted to do a short breakdown, just the behind the scenes stuff, here with you guys about a week after I released the film. A little background: I've been wanting to make short documentaries, sports documentaries, since 2016 when I was a rising freshman in high school. Back then, Last Chance U, a sports documentary focusing on an East Mississippian junior college football team, has just dropped, and I was obsessed with it. If I remember correctly, the episodes are like roughly an hour long each, and there's 8 episodes in the series. And I watched the whole thing in 2 days, then watched it 3 more times within the following few days again, like within the same week. So it's safe to say that it inspired me a lot. And looking back, I think it really pushed me to gaining that interest of shooting sports videography. I'm usually terrible at having organized videos like these, so I wrote down some notes on some pointers I wanted to talk about. Overall, about the film, I would say I'm pretty satisfied. I'm not super happy with the film because I think you're never content or truly satisfied with your work because you think there's always more to be done. But I really wanted to release this before the end of the year because I wanted it to be out of my hands first and be able to go into 2026 with some experience, some hindsight experience of my first documentary or my first film. And I've been better about this, but I usually won't be able to publish something even though I don't feel super confident in it. But this time I was able to come to terms with myself and understand that I did what I can. I utilized most of the footage I had and did my best. Thankfully, Bryan Moose, really liked the film. His friends liked the film. My friends liked the film. And this is only the beginning for both Moose and I. So overall, very positive, feeling very positive about it. I did get some feedback that we will discuss in a bit. Just a little backstory of Motion. It all started with a DM on Instagram. So this goes back to mid-November, I would say, early November, mid-November. I was looking for athletes to shoot for in the New Jersey, New York area, and I had just got my feet wet in the East Coast athletics scenes. I was just shooting volleyball and I was ready to go into basketball just to expand my parameters. And I stumbled upon Moose's story. I was looking through the NYU men's basketball roster, looked through the captains, and Moose just had an incredible story. I searched it up a little more. There were, podcasts, just feature reels, and his own TikTok. It was a great story. A lot of the parts resonated with my own walk-on story in Irvine. So I really wanted to make this film happen. And thankfully, shout out to Moose because he was really open and he really wanted this to happen as well, which accelerated the process of shooting and preparing and shooting the whole film. Funny enough, I didn't know I would be shooting a documentary at the start of our interaction. I thought I would shoot, I don't know what I was intending with that DM. I guess I just wanted someone to follow around, to follow their story and document it, but not in a long form documentary style. But right after our first in-person interaction, our in-person conversation, I quickly understood. I quickly realized that, oh, okay, I want to shoot a documentary. I want to do a short player feature film, which ended up being an 18-minute long film. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. In my past 9 years since Last Chance U, I did not know that this was possible, or didn't know that I actually get to do this without too much experience or expertise, I would say. And yeah, thanks to Moose, thanks to NYU's men's basketball team, thanks to everyone who helped this film in all different sort of ways. One of the reasons I kind of realized that I wanted to shoot a documentary was because, funny enough, during this the same time period, Danny Gervitz documentary film on CJ Nicholas, Taekwondo Olympian, just popped up on my feed on YouTube, and I happened to watch it because it's a really good film. And shortly after, his behind the scenes video and how to shoot a documentary video would also be on my algorithm. So I watched those two as well, and it just, at that point, it wasn't a discussion. Like, I had to shoot something, and luckily enough, I had a great story. And I've heard a lot of things about the breaks in the middle with the Roman numerals, but it's something that I had to do to understand if whether it would work or not. It was one of the early pillars that I really wanted to try for this film. And if you watch Afterlight, it's basically like you could tell I was really, really inspired and influenced by the film, but more on that later. So, how did it go? I would say the film, we were able to follow 60 to 70% of the original plan. You know, if there's one takeaway from this past few weeks shooting motion, was to understand that plans won't go how they were planned originally, and it's on me to adapt to it, to be flexible about it, and move on to the next, and think about, okay, what's the next best option. And originally I was going to shoot a practice before the game, then the game, and a skills training session or a lift session, and a sit down interview with Moose. What happened was I would shoot the game first, shoot a practice right after, and then a skills training session after that. No lift, and surprisingly no sit down interview. What happened was we were trying to set something up, but we couldn't find a good quiet place for us to settle and just shoot. And it kind of frustrated me because being a documentary, I think it's just one of those shots that you need, I guess. Or you don't need, but it's always in there. It's a staple, having Moose sit in a fairly controlled light setting and him just talk about his passion, but it is what it is. And I actually was able to use a lot of the clips that we shot after his skills session for voiceover. What was funny was we were supposed to shoot in the second floor of the clubhouse, the gym he works out in, but there were other sessions going on, so we could hear the basketballs bouncing. And okay, so we were like, okay, well, we go to this restaurant that nobody's in all the time. It's always empty. It's chill, so we can go grab some grub and do this thing. And so we do that, and once we started to talk about it and get his interview really going, people just started to walk in, and this has never happened apparently. So I was in despair, and we ended up doing a little walk-in interview. And I actually didn't really use a lot of what we talked about in that walk, but again, thanks to Moose for being flexible. And we got a really cool shot that paid homage to Last Chance U. If you're a fan of Last Chance U, you would definitely recognize it. It's the slow-mo, zoom out portrait of the featured athlete. One thing, again, that I would redo is to schedule a whole day of just a sit-down interview, wherever that be, wherever. It is what it is. It's already up. This is exactly what I'm talking about letting go of the project. Oh, shit. I hope I'm not too close to the frame. Yeah, another thing, I'm in California visiting friends and family. I didn't bring my tripod, which is why you're in a low angle. But you gotta work with what you have. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm next to a swimming pool, so don't want to do anything stupid. But a basic rundown of the documentary itself. Starting with the intro, I wanted to establish the setting pretty early on that this is in New York. This is based on the East Coast in New York or New Jersey, but I also didn't want to use any cliche clips of Times Square or Manhattan or I don't know. I feel like it would oversaturate the intro. It felt too cliche, I would say. So my decision was to shoot something that feels like New York, but a little less screaming New York. And I'm pretty happy with what shots I got. The subway, the street, the intersection, and we get into Moose's hand with the line opening saying featuring Bryan Moussako, which I really like. Shows his hands first. And if you noticed, all the motion before the hand is from the left to right. And we see Moose's hand on the right. And then again, Moose is sitting on the left looking towards the right side of the screen. Same with the next one. He's looking to the right from the free throw line. Again, looking to the right from in his practice gear. Then he pumps out some dribble moves to the right again. And then the first movement from the right to left is his sprints, which I think kind of re-grabs the attention of the audience because it's a different motion from all the shots you've seen from the start. And as Moose curls into the right, the ball is passed to the right to Moose. He takes a three, makes it, and then slow motion title card. A little geeking out. I think that's the most directive editing or purposeful editing I would say that I tried in a while. I really like the intro. Then upbringing music towards the end, everything's dreamy, it looks for the good, it's looking optimistic, positive, and we sharp cut into a timeout of the game, the Lancaster game. Coach Fareed, the head coach, current head coach, and Moose talking about hey, we gotta get back on defense or gotta get those rebounds. Just suddenly just pump out the intensity overall, which is I have to say it's probably my favorite part of the film. That sharp cut, sharp transition, or lack of transition, I would say.
In that summer, because I kind of was just like, I have nothing to lose.
And we talk about, and it just turned out to be a really cool shot in my opinion. A little low angle, makes him look super wide, fills out the screen. Dogs barking, it's all good. And yeah, we cut to the last chapter. We're back in the clubhouse, kind of winding down after such a stressful journey, such an intense journey of Moose's uprise. Originally, I was gonna use the same song from the introduction, but I think it, apart from being repetitive, it also kind of felt a little too sharp on my ears, especially again coming off of his whole story. So I try to look for something else, a joyful, a little easier song that complemented his "Okay, what's next?" type of direction, and I think it worked out pretty well. We go through, his with Moose having one more year in his eligibility. He aspires to put himself in the best position to play after his collegiate career, meaning he wants to play pro, obviously. And I think he's fully capable of that. He's only been getting better, and this guy knows ball. This guy, he's full of heart. I believe he would be able to make a difference at any program. And yeah, we end, and originally I was gonna roll the credits there, but I put in Zach and Coach Thompson's little interview on who Moose is and what he means to the program. I really hope this dog barking isn't in the audio, but I slide that in. Moose didn't know about this. I sent him a draft without the interviews because, a little surprise factor, and he loved it. And really wholesome moments. Obviously, he's not done. He's got ways to go. The season's halfway, so he's still got stuff. He has some more playing to do, proving to do, but, really nice to be recognized for his work, and really happy for him. And I roll the credits. Some are from his high school days from Glen Ridge. Some clips are from his time at F&M as a manager, or him working out on his own. One's from his own podcast, Moosing Around, which, by the way, you should definitely have me on the podcast. Would love to. And the film ends just like that. This will always be a special piece because no matter how many documentaries I make in the future, Motion will always be one of my favorites because, obviously it's my first long-form film, but also I really resonated a lot with Moose's story. Obviously, I wasn't able to become a rostered athlete, but I was there. I was that student manager type, practice player type, walk-on hopeful, just working out with uncertainty, just going all in for quite some time recently. And it's great to see someone who actually made it through and actually make a difference to the program. And after making this documentary, it really helped me appreciate the time I had during that journey of mine looking back. And I really hope Moose's story gets out there and inspires a lot of other people who wants to play college sports or sports at the next level, wherever that is. And let them know that anything's possible. Kevin Garnett, Jason Tatum.
It's a surreal feeling.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the process. Okay, I really, really hope I don't fall in the swimming pool and my camera doesn't fall. Probably not the safest choice right now. Just put it over here. Yeah, some feedback I got. People really like the colors. They really like the colors. Funny enough, I just started shooting film 2 months ago. So it's been really paying off. I've been learning so much. And thankfully, I haven't spent any money on any LUTs or power grades yet, but I might. I'm going to try and make a LUT or a power grade of my own. I have something that I use right now, which I will probably share in the near future. Maybe a tutorial. I don't know. I don't know if I'm at that level just yet, but I really like filmic colors. If you can't tell, people really liked my song choices. I just subscribed to Epidemic Sound. I knew I had to use some sort of sound library if I wanted to do something like this, if I wanted to continue to make high quality videos or whatnot. And I've known of Epidemic Sound and Artlist for a while, and I finally pulled the trigger. I said, why not? I see myself doing this super long time, so why not start now, get used to the library and all. And yeah, for some reason, Moose's story just screamed classical at me, symphony, and I think it worked out pretty well. We talked about this. I think the having some Kendrick at the end and the outro would have really changed the whole vibe. But it is what it is. I don't want to risk copyright or anything. Now the elephant in the room, the breaks. Why I did it, I kind of talked about it. Yeah, Afterlight had a lot of influence on me. For some reason, just having those blanks, unorthodox blanks, really stuck with me. And I kind of wanted this film to be, I wanted to have more creative freedom. Obviously, I'm a solo filmmaker now. Kind of weird to call myself a filmmaker because I made one. I don't even know if it counts as a film, but I make my own decisions, and the decision at the time was to include these blanks. And I didn't want me myself. I would say design-wise, I like minimalistic stuff. So I didn't really want to include any titles, chapter titles to the blanks, and I just wanted to label them in numbers. But normal numbers didn't look good, so I chose Roman numerals. And me being all Gen Z or whatever, I did lowercase Roman numerals because I thought they looked good. Honestly, I really like it. It's probably because it's my film, but a lot of people asked me about it. Kind of told me that some of the feedback I got was that sometimes it would disrupt the whole flow of the film. And my intention was kind of to grab the audience's attention, just those small moments, to have them on their toes, kind of like everything's happening, voiceover, and then it's black. So my thought process was, maybe the viewers might look at this and say, oh, okay, what's next? And then we changed scenes. So that was my whole idea behind it. Honestly speaking, I probably won't do it again unless I feel this really, really strong urge. But I'm the type of person to do it and understand that it doesn't work or whatever, then not doing it and regret not doing it later on. So it's all right. I'm happy with it. But yeah, other than that, really positive feedback. Really thank everyone who liked my film. It's obviously still up on YouTube. Go hit a like and leave a comment, please. Subscribe and all that. But yeah, it's really, really fun experience. I think that's all I want to talk about on Motion. If you have any questions, please always feel free to ask me. My Instagram is @madebySuyun. TikTok's probably the same. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Right now it's the 31st. It's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's to everyone. Hope you guys had a good year, and may only good things happen to you in 2026. All right, well, see you guys next year.